Welcome to The Explainer. Grab your notebooks, because today we are prepping for the ultimate history exam on how the greatest lost kingdoms were rediscovered. Long ago, across boundless lands and seas, mighty civilizations flourished. Over time, their voices were silenced and their stories were hidden beneath sand, jungle, and solid stone. I'm going to be your enthusiastic guide as we uncover exactly how humanity's forgotten past was dragged back into the light by curious explorers.
All right, let's just dive right into the syllabus. We're looking at Unit 1, the era of early explorers. Unit 2, modern tech uncovers history. Unit 3, impossible ancient engineering. Unit 4, unsolved architectural mysteries. And finally, Unit 5, our final exam discovery quiz. We'll be covering everything from the early days of raw exploration to the cutting-edge tech peeling back the jungle canopy. And definitely pay attention because we wrap up with a pop quiz to see how much you've actually retained.
Unit 1. The era of early explorers. We are kicking things off with the dusty boots of early archaeology. You know, back before satellites did all the heavy lifting, discovering lost civilizations relied heavily on sheer luck, local tips, and a whole lot of audacity.
It is honestly staggering how recently some of these massive sites were actually found. In 1812, the magnificent Nabatean capital of Petra was located. In 1888, ranchers Richard Wetherill and Charlie Mason were just riding through some Colorado canyons when they spotted the Mesa Verde cliff dwellings. But 1963 and 1974, those last two are my absolute favorites, mainly because of how unbelievably accidental they were.
Okay, picture this. It's 1963 in Turkey. A guy is just doing some everyday basement renovations, and he notices his chickens keep vanishing into a crack in the wall. So he knocks it down, and boom, he reveals a tunnel. And not just any tunnel. It led to an ancient 18-level, 280-foot-deep subterranean refuge called Derinkuyu. Carved by the Phrygians around 1200 BCE, this place was capable of housing 20,000 people, complete with ventilation shafts, stables, a winery, and even a church, all discovered because of some wandering poultry. You literally can't make this stuff up. And it's a very similar story in China. In 1974, some farmers near Xi'an were just digging a well looking for water when they struck a clay head. Well, that head uncovered a vanguard of life-size soldiers forged by the Qin dynasty way back in 210 BCE. Later digs revealed 3 entire pits holding 8,000 warriors, horses, and chariots, all built to guard the emperor's tomb in the afterlife. What is really wild here is that every single clay face is totally unique. Plus, their bronze weapons still gleamed, completely unoxidized thanks to a protective layer of lacquer. Just an incredible accidental find.
Moving right along to Unit 2, modern tech uncovers history. Let's see how our search transitioned from lucky accidents to purposeful, laser-focused, high-tech hunts.
So if you think about places like the Amazon jungle, traditional archaeology is incredibly tough there. The sheer density and the acidic soil just swallow up ruins. But LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar, they are absolute game changers where nature has reclaimed the land. LiDAR literally pierces right through that thick canopy, revealing complex and ancient societies, hidden roads, and massive platforms that we would have completely missed with the naked eye.
And hey, it isn't just the jungle. Take the Giza pyramids, for example. You'd think we know absolutely everything about them by now, right? Well, scratch that. In 2025, radar scans detected 8 massive 2,100-foot shafts and mapped out these cubic chambers stretching deep below the Khafre pyramid. They even found spiral paths in 80-meter cubes right beneath the surface, possibly used for storage or rituals. Even our most famous monuments are still keeping massive secrets just out of sight.
We are even finding new, massive hillside drawings in Peru today simply by sending a drone up into the sky. Down in Palpa, Peru, which actually hosts ancient geoglyphs that predate the famous Nazca lines, by the way, researchers deployed drones in 2018. From the air, they easily spotted over 50 new geoglyphs depicting humans and animals. Unlike the flat designs of Nazca, some of these were carved right into the hillsides. Technology is just incredible.
All right, Unit 3, Impossible Ancient Engineering. Grab your calculators for this one, folks, because we are looking at the raw math and muscle of the ancient world.
Across the globe, we see this completely diverse architectural genius, all done without modern machinery. Over in Peru, the Inca fortress of Sacsayhuaman has these massive stone walls fitted together so perfectly they didn't even need mortar. In Greece, the Roman aqueduct of Nicopolis carried water to 150,000 people using solid construction right in the water, complete with clever ventilation shafts. And on the cliffs of Malta, Neolithic islanders built the Kailasa Temple using gargantuan 20-ton stone slabs, aligning them perfectly to mark the solar solstices.
So, take a look at this number. 2,300,000. Any guesses on what this massive figure represents for our exam? Take a second to think about the sheer scale of the ancient world.
That is the exact number of individual stone blocks perfectly placed to build the Great Pyramid of Khufu on the Giza Plateau. Over 2 million stones, some weighing several tons, aligned precisely with the stars. This thing soared nearly 500 feet high and was literally the tallest building in the world for millennia. It's a feat so mathematically complex, it still sparks fierce debates today about exactly how they manage the logistics of moving and placing all that material.
Oh, and you definitely want to take notes on India's Ellora Caves too. Specifically Cave 16, the Kailasa Temple. It wasn't just built out of rocks, it was sculpted directly from a solid basalt cliff. They literally carved it top down. It rises 3 entire stories featuring intricate elephants carved at the base and Hindu gods adorning the walls. Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain civilizations all contributed to this massive 1,400-year-old complex. It's just mind-blowing. Which brings us to Unit 4, Unsolved Architectural Mysteries. This is the extra credit section of our explainer, because for every question archaeology answers, it seems to dig up 3 more mysteries.
For instance, off the coast of Japan, sitting about 85 feet deep, are the Yonaguni structures. These incredibly precise underwater platforms feature what look like actual steps and pathways, sparking a massive debate that they might be a 10,000-year-old relic from the Jomon period. But there is absolutely zero definitive proof of human origin here. So, it remains a totally neutral, yet highly heated debate among experts. Is it an ancient sunken city, or just highly coincidental geometric natural rock formations? The jury is still entirely out.
And back in Peru, the Nazca lines present another total puzzle. Created between 500 BCE and 500 CE, these massive ground drawings feature intricate hummingbirds, a really perplexing large-headed astronaut figure, and more. Some lines point exactly to the sun's position at the solstices, yet their method of creation without modern aerial tools or surveying equipment is a complete mystery. I mean, how do you draw a perfect, miles-long animal when you can't even step back and look at it from the sky?
By the way, make sure you know this term for the test, geoglyph. It's basically a large design or motif produced on the ground, often by arranging stones or scraping away the top layer of earth. Understanding how these massive ground drawings survived for centuries, like the Nazca, the Palpa, or even the 171-foot human figures scraped into the Colorado Desert by native tribes, is absolutely key to appreciating ancient engineering and cultural expression. All right, Unit 5, final exam, discovery quiz, pop quiz time. Let's see how much of this explainer you've actually retained in a quick, rapid-fire review. I'm going to throw a few questions at you from our earlier units. Question 1. Think back to our timeline from Unit 1, the Nabatean Kingdom's capital, Petra, famous for its genius rainwater conduit system, right? Thriving in a harsh desert with dams and cisterns. But how did explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt actually manage to get in and rediscover it in 1812? If you said he used a disguise, you nailed it. By posing as an Arab, he was able to safely navigate the region, lay eyes on that iconic treasury facade, and bring the knowledge of this magnificent lost city of tombs and temples back to the wider world. Okay, question 2. This is the one you definitely want to remember. We talked about farmers digging wells, ranchers riding horses, and drones scanning the skies. But which specific massive lost city was uncovered purely because a man's chickens went missing during a home renovation? It's Derinkuyu in Turkey. Yep. A simple basement wall crack revealed a staggering 18-level subterranean world. A massive complex that once sheltered 20,000 people from invaders, using over 15,000 ventilation shafts to keep the air fresh 280 feet down. Talk about history literally hiding right behind your walls. So, as our study session concludes, remember that the Earth is still hiding countless secrets. Whether they're revealed by a high-tech LiDAR scan slicing through a thick jungle canopy, or just a farmer stumbling upon ancient clay in a dusty field, the next great discovery is definitely out there. It makes you wonder, what forgotten kingdom is waiting just beneath your feet for you to discover next? Keep exploring, stay curious, and thanks for joining me on this explainer.